So our equation is h of x is equal to e to the x times ln of x all to the fourth power. First thing that you would do is distribute the 4 throughout the equation, so it would simplify to e to the 4x times ln to the 4 of x. The first thing that you would do is use the product rule with the equation. And the product rule is equal to f prime of x times g of x plus g prime of x times f of x. We're going to use, as our f of x, we will use e to the 4x, and for our g of x, we're going to use ln to the 4 of x. So from here, what that's going to look like for the product rule, that would equal to f prime of x, which you would take the derivative of e to the 4x, times your g of x, so times ln to the 4 of x, plus f of x, so e to the 4x, times your g prime of x, which would be the derivative of ln to the 4 of x. So from here, you would use the chain rule for e to the 4x. And the chain rule is you would take your e to the u, especially for the chain rule for using e. So it would be e to the u over du times du over dx. And for a u, that would equal to 4x. And as our du, it would be the derivative of e to the 4x, which is just e to the u. So plugging all of that into our equation, that would come out to be e to the 4x times the derivative of 4x times, you have to bring down your second part of the equation, times ln to the 4 of x. And then you would add the second part of the equation, so plus e to the 4x times the derivative of ln to the 4 of x. So from here, what you would do is you would factor out your constants. And when you factor out your constants, it becomes e to the 4x, sorry, I got mixed up a little bit. It would be 4 times the derivative of x times e to the 4x ln to the 4 of x plus your second part of the equation, which is e to the 4x times d over dx, derivative of ln to the 4 of x. So then what you would do for here is you would take the derivative of x, which is just 1. Excuse me. And when you take the derivative of just 1, the equation simplifies out to be 1 times 4e to the 4x ln to the 4 of x plus your first part, or your second part of the equation, which would be e to the 4x times d over dx of ln to the 4 of x. So here you would use the chain rule again for your ln to the 4 of x, and chain rule, like we set up here, it would be du to the 4 over du times du over dx. And we're going to use u as our ln of x. We're going to use our du as u to the 4th, which is equal to 4u cubed. So when you plug all this into the equation, it simplifies out to be 4 ln to the x cubed times the derivative of ln to the x times e to the 4x plus your second part of the equation, which would be 4e to the 4x ln to the 4 of x. And then from here, you can simplify and take the derivative of ln to the x, which the derivative of ln to the x is just 1 over x. And so your final answer would simplify and be 4e to the 4x ln to the 4 of x plus 1 over x, derivative of ln to the x, times 4e to the 4x ln to the 3 of x. And that's how your equation would simplify. And that would be your final answer.